Ma'am, my question is in two parts. The first part is, do you believe in Indian Jyotish Shastra?
Do I believe in?
Indian astrology, Jyotish
Okay,
Shastra.
yes,
Are you interested in something? I have written two papers. I am NASA scientist, worked for NASA for 35 years.
Wonderful.
I am from San Diego, California.
So let's take your first question first, because we might run out of time before the second one. If we have time, I'll go into the second one. Do I believe in the science of astrology? Absolutely, I do. I didn't used to. It's interesting. When I first heard, unki mic ko band kar dijiyega. They just need to turn off your mic because it messes up in the speaker. When I first heard about astrology, I mean, obviously we all read horoscopes in newspapers that you realize mean nothing at all. You know, if you cover up with your finger, is it Pisces, is it Aries, is it Taurus, you realize every single one of them could apply to you. So I never believed in it. And then when I came to India and heard about everybody so deeply, devoutedly believing in astrology, I did not. Because I was trying to think about it from the sort of spiritual perspective of just, okay, it's another way of, you know, praying, and we pray to God, and we pray to the planets, and we pray to the sun, and we pray to the moon. And I had just thought about it like that. But as the years went by, I actually realized from a scientific perspective, I believe in astrology scientifically more than spiritually. Here's why. The human body is 70%, 80% water, depending on how old you are, right? Now, all of our scientists out there, if I say anything that you do not believe scientifically, I want you to shout out and interrupt me, okay? Really, you do not just take what I'm saying because I say it. You're scientists. If I say anything or I get anywhere where you feel like, I don't make the leap, stop me, okay? Human body, 70, 80% water. The ocean has high tide and low tide caused by what? The moon. The moon. The magnetic pull between the moon and the earth. Yes, of course, the position of the earth and the moon, and therefore the pull between them. But it's the pull that is turning tides into high tide and low tide. The pull of just the moon. Now, I have no idea how many liters or gallons of water there are in the ocean, but I have lived on the ocean. And I know that the difference between high tide and low tide is a huge difference. In many places, you've got a 30-foot difference between high tide and low tide, caused only by the pull of the moon. Now, the scientist in me says it would be crazy to accept that the pull of the moon on the ocean causes high tide and low tide. But me, who's also water, is not impacted by it. If the pull on the water is enough to change the tides, how is it scientifically possible that it doesn't impact me? It must. All of the planets have different magnetic poles with each other, with the moon, with the earth. We are made up of the exact same 5 elements that our earth is made up of. That our creation is made up of. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, that's what we're made up of. And if the pull of the planets and the moon changes all of that, must change us. So I actually believe in astrology from that scientific perspective. Now, As I've said in satsang many times, that doesn't mean I believe in your horoscope in the newspaper. What I believe in is when really expert people take all of the details of your actual human incarnation. They take your birthplace, your birth time, they know all of that, and they use mathematical equations to know what is the difference of the pull of the moon on you versus you, or you this year versus you last year. Because just as it changes on the earth, so it changes on us, year by year, month by month, and it impacts differently. That pull of the moon it's going to cause a different tide in the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea. It's going to cause different impacts. So I believe in astrology because of that.